Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Boredom Busters with Lincoln Children's Museum. Today is Monday, June 8th, and today is World Oceans Day. So, all around the world, people are learning about the ocean and thinking about different things, thinking about the animals that live in the oceans, thinking about the plants that live in the oceans, and the relationships between the plants and the animals, and also with people, and how the oceans are changing and what we can do to protect them. So we're taking a little break from our dinosaur theme to think about the oceans. Now, for our printable today, we have Kazoo is on a boat and he's out in the ocean looking at different fish there. Now, did you know that a group of fish that lives together and swims together is called a school of fish? So, how many different schools of fish does Kazoo see under his boat there? And what color are each of those different schools? And how many fish are in each of those different colored schools of fish? And our video recommendation today is from SciShow Kids. So check out the Great Barrier Reef with Jessie and Squeaks and learn all about coral. Now, coral reefs are actually really interesting and they have been around for a long time. Now, this is the second kind of coral. It's the second time that coral has been on our planet. And back during the time of the dinosaurs, there was something that was almost exactly the same, that did exactly the same thing, but it was different. And I'll talk a little bit more about coral when we do our art activity. And our book recommendation today, it's I'm the Biggest Thing in the Ocean by Kevin Sherry. It's a fun story following along with this giant squid as he travels through the oceans, comparing the sizes of the different animals that he meets. And our song recommendation today is The Animals in the Ocean. You'll probably recognize the tune to it. It's a fun one. You'll be singing along in no time. Now, while you're thinking about the ocean, have any of you ever been to the ocean? I know we're pretty far from the ocean here in Nebraska, but there's an ocean. If you drive west for a very long time, you will get to the Pacific Ocean. If you drive east for a very long time, you will get to the Atlantic Ocean. Now, if you go south and a little bit east, you'll get to the Gulf of Mexico. But what is the difference between an ocean and a lake? Well, oceans, first of all, are very, very, very big. And the biggest difference, though, is that oceans and seas are salt water, as opposed to lakes and rivers and streams, which are fresh water. And all lakes and rivers and streams, they end up draining into the oceans. All right, now for our first activity here, we're going to make an ocean in a bottle. Now this is a fun little activity, and the basics for it, all you need is oil, water, blue food coloring, and a clear bottle. Now you can also add in some extras. I have a couple little plastic sea creatures here that fit through the neck of my bottle, so I'm gonna pop those in too. And I have some blue and some kind of turquoisey glitter that I'm going to add. So I'm going to start by adding in some glitter because I'm going to use the same funnel. Now, if you do something wet through the funnel first and then try the glitter will stick to the inside of the funnel. So I'm going to do the glitter first. Let's see. Do a little bit of this light blue, this turquoisey glitter in here first. Now, have you ever done an experiment with oil and water? What happens when you try to mix together oil and water? Does it work, or do they stay separate? Let's get this dark blue glitter in here. All right, I just thought it would be fun to have a couple colors in there. There's the glitter all in. Now you're gonna want to put in your water first, and just about 1/3 of the bottle. So get that funnel in, and there is the water. Now we want to add some blue food coloring so that the water turns blue. Now, if you look at an individual small amount of the ocean, it is clear, just like any other water. But when you look at the whole ocean, it looks blue usually, but only if it's sunny, because the ocean reflects the color of the sky. So if it's very stormy with gray clouds, the ocean looks gray. If it's very sunny with blue skies, the ocean looks blue. All right, I'm gonna fill this up to about here with that oil, and look and see what's happening. The oil is sitting on top of the water. And is the oil turning blue? You know, it's not, because the food coloring is based in water. It's just water with some dye in it. So it mixes with the water and does not mix with the oil. Now, I didn't fill it all the way because I wanted to make sure that I had room for my little fish and my seahorse. I think I'd put my seahorse in upside down. There we go. And fill it up the rest of the way with the oil. Now, if you have an old mouthwash bottle, those work great for this because the lids don't come off. But if you're going to use just a regular bottle like I am, then you can always add in some strong glue like the E6000 or something like that. And then when you twist it shut, the lid will stay on forever. Now, there's my bottle. I can make the waves and watch as my fish and my seahorse swim around in there, and watch as the glitter goes. And if you shake it a lot, it kind of mixes together a little bit, but if we wait, it will separate back out. All right, so that is a fun activity that you can play with over and over again. Just if you'd like, you can also tape it on the outside, do something to make sure that lid does not come off. All right, and we have one more craft today, and we're going to be making a coral reef. And what you need for this, well, you can do it on regular paper. I'm gonna start with light blue paper because that will be like the ocean. And then I have tan here, and the tan is going to be the sand at the bottom of my ocean. And I was thinking about it. I thought it might be really neat if you had some sandpaper. That would add some texture to your picture. Now, I'm going to make kind of a not straight bottom here because this is the sand at the bottom of the ocean. So I'm making it kind of hilly and wavy. I'm going to glue this down. And we're going to be doing some blow painting here. So you can use liquid watercolors if you have liquid watercolors. You can also do food dye in water, and that works also. I've also successfully been able to do this with tempera paint. Just do a squirt of the tempera paint into water and stir it up until it's all mixed together and nice and thin. All right, there is the bottom of my ocean. Now, we did an activity very similar to this during the week when we were learning about the human body, and we did it so we could learn about the power of our lungs. And that time, we just kind of went for it, right? We just blew that paint all over the paper. But today, we're going to try to build coral reefs. Now coral, when you look at it, it looks like rocks. It looks like brightly colored rocks or bones, but really it is millions and millions and millions of tiny little organisms, and they grow and they live on top of each other. So think about, imagine a rock where you can see the different grains, and each one of those is a different little animal. Now, if you have a pipette, you can use a pipette to drop your paint onto your water. I'm just gonna use my straw. So I'm gonna start with green here. So dip it in, put your finger over the top, and you should end up with some paint in there. So then put it on your paper. Now coral always starts in the sand on the rocks. It connects itself there. And then it branches out. Oh, see, and you can build your coral along the bottom of your page here. Make sure to watch that video recommendation, and you'll learn more about what coral reefs really look like. So just keep going along your page in all of your colors. Branch it out. And there you go. And then you can add, with markers or paint, you can add little details. I'm gonna add some little fish here. Now in the tropical oceans, which is where we find a lot of the coral, in tropical oceans, the fish are beautiful, bright colors. So get creative. Now, I hope everyone is enjoying Read Aloud Lincoln's story times for you in the morning. Make sure to check out their Facebook page for more information on when your favorite librarians will be reading out loud to you. And now, Miss Lauren, I do have a joke to leave you with today.
Ooh, yes, Miss Greta?
How do you know that the ocean is friendly?
I don't know. How?
It waves. All right, have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow morning at 10:30 for more dino fun.